All right, what is up, everybody? So, Shadow Scout 0013 here, reporting in for another kind of unit breakdown or comb over or whatever you want to call it at the Droidekas, because I had a few people requesting that whenever I went to the Discord and asked people for it. So, I forgot exactly where it went, but somewhere on the Discord, I went to video ideas and asked people what they wanted to see, and I think a lot of people were asking for Droidekas. So, if you're interested, you can head over to the Discord, and there you're going to, be able to interact with everybody and, you know, give us some ideas. If you have, list ideas that you are trying to work out or questions about any of the factions, feel free to post them in here. Any rules questions, list helps for new players, anything like that. If you're having trouble or if you are just wanting to figure out a little bit more, feel free to come and join us. It is obviously free and such a nice, you know, extra little thing that you guys can be a part of. And it's nice to see people, coming in and uh, just having fun. And we're all gonna greet you because you guys are freaking awesome. So yeah, and if you got some Legion tools here, if you've got any questions, if you need the Legion quick guide or some assembly stuff. Yeah, I'm just trying to listen to every one of you guys, and yeah, all of y'all are freaking awesome. I love it. Also, you can support the channel here at Clan of Shadows on Patreon. All you have to do is become a member, and you're going to get some the videos early, and you're going to be able to chime in, send me messages, and you wind up getting a little bit more of the Discord, a few more channels for the Discord. And I also asked the Patreon members about you know, um, what is it? About some of the symbols that we're going to try to work on for this channel and get a logo going for everybody. So yeah, sorry about such a long intro. And last but not least, burnacademy.com or theburnacademy.com. You can head there and subscribe for $15 a month, which really helps me out. And there you're going to get 3, 4, 5, and 6 day week workout programs, corrective exercise stuff, 30-minute programs in case you're short on time, stuff for home, abs and core, just in case you want to do some more isolation work, and cardio circuits in case you're just interested in doing cardio. And there's videos and descriptions of all the workouts, coaching videos. You can track your progress. There's over 120 different recipes on there. And, this is going to be very helpful if you're in the gym and you're trying to work out and make sure that you're being in there safely, because working out is definitely needed, especially the older we get, to maintain a healthy body. And, if you're having troubles at tournaments and you're having troubles, with lower back, strengthen that up. And there's lots of ways on here to be able to do that. But we'll go ahead and get started. Thanks for bearing with me. Also, the best way to enter in to win a $25 gift card that'll be announced next month. All you have to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment down below on this video or any of the other videos. I'm trying to keep track of everybody right now that does, and yeah, it's awesome. And if you join the Discord and when you join and you type in your YouTube, or at least you message me or something about that you've joined from YouTube and that you are a subscriber, I'll check, and then that'll be another way to enter in to win the $25. And then I think we're also going to be trying to do another giveaway for Life Day for Core Box. So, yeah, definitely be a subscriber and join up. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so let's look at Droidekas. So Droidekas, they have 3 health each. There's 2 of them in the unit, so you're looking at a 6 health unit that has white saves, surge to defense. They won't break, which is nice until they're gone. And they have a speed of 1, which, yeah, it fits. Now, they've got wheel mode where they can go to speed 3, but you lose the shields and you cannot attack. So, if they're outside of the experimental droid battle force, you just need to be aware of that. Now, inside the droid battle force, there's ways to make them speed 2 without having to go to wheel mode, which is really nice. So in case you really need to book it a little bit more, you can spend a surge token to be able to increase their speed by 1 and get them at speed 2 and keep their shields up. So that's another nice thing to do. And I'll give some more of the card first. They have AI attack and move, or one or the other. It's one or the other. So unless you have a face supporter token, your first action must be an attack or a move. So you won't be able to aim. And they don't surge offensively like they do defensively, and they're rolling a red and 2 black each, so you'd be rolling 2 red, 4 black, so 6 dice at range 1 to 3, which is really nice. It is a fixed front, so you have to make sure that you are aware of how you're maneuvering and pointing the direction of who you're shooting at. And they start out with 4 shield tokens, and they can regenerate 1 at the end phase whenever you are cleaning up, basically. And yeah, their weapon is suppressed, and they are immune to deflect, which is really nice. And it's a fixed front, like I said. Now, they do have a comm slot, so that makes it really nice to be able to put the emergency transponders on there, because if they don't get an order, they can, remove a suppression, or, which they don't need, gain an aim or dodge. Preferably, you're probably going to be going for the aim action. Now, these guys are decent. They're good. They're not staps. Obviously, if you want better order control and you want better objective play, you're probably going to go with the staps over the Droidekas. But the Droidekas do have a place, and I feel like their place is now in the experimental droid battle force. I think they're really going to stand out there and be more efficient because of the things that you can do with the droid battle force. So let's take a look at these guys in different list ideas that I've got. That'll be in the description below. So if you ever are wondering how to make these or where these come from, you can go to Legion HQ, or you can go to the description down below and click the link, and it'll take you to these lists that I'm talking about now. So the reason I say that they're going to be better in the experimental droids list is if we just go here and we check it out real fast. So with the Legion Battle Force, you have special rules. So at the start of each activation phase, you're going to choose up to one of your commander units, and if you do, you can put 3 surge tokens on that unit's unit card, which is going to build up each round. So if you don't use them the first round, when you regain another 3, you're going to have 6 for this round 2, which is nice to have and hold on to for the first round, because that second round and on, you're probably going to want to start using them pretty badly, unless you start out really, really close, or you're facing the Wookiee Battle Force or the Ewoks, where they can do some crazy maneuvering. Yeah, but so once during its activation, a friendly Special Forces core or support unit that has AI keyword may perform a free action to spend a surge on the chosen commander unit if it's at range 3. And if it does, you choose one of the following. So your commander has to be at range 3 in order for you to be able to spend that surge token, but you can increase their speed by 1 during the next move action. So if you want the Droidekas to be able to move at speed 2 and keep their shields up, spend a surge token, they go to speed 2, and then you can shoot. You're a little bit closer. You can either gain an aim or dodge token. So maybe the first round you've got emergency transponders on there. So maybe you're able to shoot the first round. You take the aim and for free. Maybe you move up speed 1, and then you're able to shoot. That's one way. Then round 2, you can spend a surge token, give them a free aim, and then they can move again speed 1, or maybe you spend a second surge, which would be you're spending those surges quite often if you're doing that, to move up speed 2 and then get a free aim and then shoot. Or you can add a black die and a white die to the attack pool. So if you've got both Droidekas and you're shooting the 6 dice, maybe you can shoot 8 dice at range 3. It would be 2 red, 5 black, and a white, which is not bad. They don't surge, so the more dice the better, and with an aim. So maybe on one of the rounds you spend a surge token for the extra black and white dice when they've got their emergency transponders still, so that you still get the free aim from the emergency transponders, and then you spend a surge to give them an extra black and a white dice, so you've got an aim with 8 dice suppressive. It's gonna be awesome. And or you can remove up to 2 suppression tokens with one of the surge tokens, which is nice, especially if you have override. So maybe say that you have, Kraken, and he's got override 2, which means at range 1 to 2, if there's, here, I'll just actually go to it. Sorry, I don't know why I'm just mouthing it off. I can just read it for you guys. So override 2, when a friendly unit at range 1 to 2 activates, you can spend a suppression, you can gain a suppression token. And if you do, that unit ignores the AI during its activation. So maybe if he's at range 1 to 2, which he's going to have to be at range 1 to 3 anyway to be able to spend a surge token for the Droidekas, you're going to have to move him up. And maybe with the override, you don't have to move or attack. You can just aim and then shoot. And then if you were to use override multiple times, maybe you give Kraken endurance so he can take basically 2 suppression off at the end of the round. Because at the end phase with endurance, you would take off suppression, and then at the end of the round, you clean up, so you take off another suppression. That's an easy way to get off suppression, but maybe you do it for a few different units in one round. Well, for free, you can spend a surge token to be able to clear off 2 suppression by using override. So the easiest way to do it would be to, override the AI on the Droidekas and do that for both units, or 2 different units of Droidekas, gain those 2 suppression, and then spend a surge token to get rid of those 2 suppression, and then keep overriding, and then at the end of the turn, if you have endurance, you're taking off a ton of suppression, so you can basically just ignore override, or ignore AI almost the entire time you've got, Kraken. And, he's going to gain a suppression to strategize. He's going to gain a suppression to basically override. So there's lots of ways he's going to be gaining suppression, even if he's getting shot at. So I think endurance and inside of the experimental droid battle force with that free ability to use the surge to cancel 2 suppression tokens, you're going to be really doing well with Kraken, I feel like, especially if you're able to, utilize the surges to take off his suppression. You're not going to do that every single time, because obviously that's going to create some issues with the rest of your army, because you're probably going to want to spend the surges for an extra move, or I should say an extra speed, or an aim and a dodge, or or aim or dodge, and then a black dice and a white dice. There's there's so many options, and that's why I'm like, maybe the first round you want to wait to use your surge tokens and just recover with Kraken instead of using the surge tokens. But if you absolutely need it, then you can. But yeah, it's just kind of up to you. So for the experimental droids battle force, the first one, I've got Kraken with improvise and endurance so that he can do all of those things. You've got 2 super battle droids with the B2 HA trooper and the T series, so that you don't have to use his override to basically have the super battle droids do anything else other than attack. They can probably move and then attack, or aim and then attack, or maybe at least you don't have to spend a suppression to override and then gain so much more. There's just so many options, but at least the T-Series tactical droid is going to add a red dice to your B2, which has blast and impact, so it's going to be rolling 3 red and white, which is really nice. And it's blast, so there's no cover. So maybe you just take the aim, because with the override, you aim and shoot, and then eventually just recover or use a surge to get rid of some suppression tokens. Then you have the B1s with the PK series worker droids to be able to heal the Magnas, the Droidekas, the super battle droids, basically everyone in the army. And then I've got 2 Magna Guards with the RPS. So you've basically got impact 2, 4, and then 6, 8. You have impact 8 on this list. You've got 3 Droidekas that are going to be able to benefit greatly off of those suppression tokens, the surge tokens. Man, so I'm talking so fast. I'm sorry. But yeah, so you've got 10 activations. You've got 6. You technically have 4 core, 2 special forces. So the improvised orders on here is supposed to help a little bit with, in case you draw a Droideka and you want a Magna Guard, or you draw a Magna Guard and you want a Droideka, or you draw a Kraken and you don't want him at the time being. So I think you're going to probably be running improvised orders in the experimental droid battle force more so than if you're just running regular CIS army. Now, another one that I've got Kraken and the T-Series, so that way you gain a little bit more surge on the field, and if maybe the T-Series goes and you're trying to have him with the surge tokens because you're running Kraken too close, and the Kraken gets taken out and you still want a, commander, or the opposite way around, or for order control, a little bit more so that if you draw a commander, you have the option of picking a different one. I still have the B2s with the T-Series Tactical Droid because that's just the best way to, I think, get them out for now. I've got a Magna Guard, so that way you have Impact 6 at least, and then you've got a Battle Droid with the E5S, and both of the B1s have the PK Series Worker Droids, and then you still have 3 Droidekas with the Emergency Transponders. That way they can gain that free aim that first round, and the second round, that way the first round you can save up those surge tokens, and the second round maybe you use one of the surges or 2 of the surges to help them with the aim, the speed 1 move, and or extra dice. Another thing with the Droidekas is they're technically a ground vehicle, so if they were to walk over another trooper unit, they could displace them, which is really nice. Even your own guys, which if you wanted to give a suppression out to your own guys, then by all means that's fine, but your opponent's going to wind up moving them, and it's a little bit tougher. So I think they could displace in wheel mode because they're technically still a ground vehicle, and it doesn't say that you can't displace in wheel mode. So I haven't played them, so I'm not exactly quite sure, but I've gotten a little bit of insight from everyone on the Discord. So yeah, this is another 10-act list, aggressive tactics. What I'm trying to do with the Kraken and the T-Series droid is the T-Series droid is going to be able to direct the B2s, or the B1s, which will also give an order to the Magna Guard, which would be really nice, because then your only the only special forces unit would have an order, because they're technically a droid trooper. Then you just have the B2s left, and they don't have AI, so you don't have to worry about the AI on them anymore. And then the only ones that have AI for that round are the Droidekas. So then if you wanted to spend, the override on Kraken, you really only have to spend get 3 suppression if you're trying to, override their AI. But that's not too bad. Yeah. And so if you've got any questions, let me know about that one. But yeah, I'm trying to make sure that you have some sort of way to get some crits through and or get through armor. Now, another and the last experimental droid force that I have, I've got one more list after this, but the last experimental droid force I've got, it involves the T-Series droid by himself with improvised and comms relay. It's got the battle droid, so that way you can maybe, if you have to give an order to this T-Series droid, you can technically comms relay it, hopefully to the B2s. Then you just direct the battle droids who can give out an order to one of the BX series droids, so that way you only have 2 of them, and then 3 Droidekas, and then a T-Series, and that's why you still have improvised orders on them. There are no emergency transponders on the Droidekas, but the BX series droids can take cover behind the Droidekas just in case, and you can keep them in regular mode so that you can keep the shields up, and then have the B series walk behind the Droidekas, because they're a ground vehicle, they can block line of sight as well. So the Droidekas, being able to displace, blocking line of sight, and being able to spin a surge to give them an aim or extra dice, especially with it being suppressive, and or an extra speed 1 move, an aim, or extra dice, being able to spin a surge on them, for that is just really nice. And then if, you're walking up with the Droidekas at speed 2, the BX series droids are going to be able to move up a lot faster, still under a lot of cover, and then they've got charge with the vibro swords, so unless they're shooting at those BX droids, the Droidekas are going to help move them up while they're laying some mines, and then your other battle droids are just going to be shooting or doing some objectives or whatever they need to do and staying alive with the extra PK series droid workers. And then last but not least, I have a bug suppressive list, or just a suppressive list in general. That's what I tried to kind of focus on the most. I've got Poggle the Lesser, mostly for the ability to compel and override. Then you've got Sun Fac that has a suppressive range 1 to 3 single rainbow, and that's the suppressive kind of theme there. I've got offensive push on there on Sun Fac because he's probably going to need it, and with a free jump 3 move and or the ability to move 3 times, you could technically jump at your speed to recover and then shoot. So that way the next time again you've got offensive push at least every other turn, and you don't have to have Hunter, which focuses on trooper units with a wound. So if you're just trying to shoot at other like random core units that don't just have a wound, then offensive push can come in handy, because then you can still recover and or get off suppression as well with that recover. Or if you do just plan on using him to shoot at, wounded trooper units, then by all means, Hunter's the same price as offensive push, so just change that out. I've got 2 Geonosian warriors with a sonic cannon, mostly for the impact and the scatter, so that you can help with Bosk and or anyone else, because Bosk doesn't have sharpshooter, so with the ability to scatter with the Geonosian warriors, that leaves Bosk the ability to kind of shoot a little bit better. And then I've also got 2 Geonosian warriors with the Force Pikes, or the Force Pike upgrade, and the extra Geonosian warrior, because they're going to be needing to get close. And the Force Pike warrior is suppressive. So you've got at least Sunfac, which is suppressive, 2 Geonosian warriors, which is suppressive, Bosk, which is suppressive, and then 3 other Droideka units that'll make it suppressive, giving you 7 out of the 10 units having the suppressive keyword. And then I've just given Bosk, Hunter and targeting scopes. I've given 3 Droideka units emergency transponders, so that way they can, get that aim when they need to. And yeah, you don't have to have offensive push. If you wanted a bid, you could do that. If you wanted something else, you could take it technically. If you wanted... Now, Sunfac has the ability to direct Geonosian warriors. So he can direct these 4 guys. So all your core units have face-up order tokens. He's also got retinue with Poggle, so he can start out with an aim or a dodge. You don't have to have the, extra offensive push on him. You could technically just have improvised orders and have that 1-point bid. Or, if you wanted Poggle the Lesser to be able to maybe, maybe give Bosk the seize the initiative so that he can have an order when he needs it. That's another way of spending those points. Yeah. And I was working on the command cards. But yeah, I'd probably go with Merciless Munitions, Reptilian Rampage for sure. You don't have a droid trooper commander, so you wouldn't be able to go with that one. You'd probably have to go with We Serve the Queen. And then you've also got, We Make the Weapons, but you don't have any B2s necessarily, and or any droid trooper units. So there's no point in having that one. So I'd probably go with Lying in Wait and, Assault. Just make it easy for you. But yeah, all of these lists have 10 activations, so that way with the white saves, you have at least more bodies, and you're not going to die by round 3. At least you could make it to round 4. Just kidding. But yeah, this is just a great way to play a suppressive list. But that is it, guys. I'm going to post all of these down below in the description, so if you want to play some Droidekas and you've got 3 of them, I think... From what I've seen, a lot of really good tournament players use is they usually triple up on a lot of things. You don't really too often see just 2 or 1 support unless you're in the 501st. Usually you'd see like 3 Tauntaun units or 3 Dewbacks or the 3 Droidekas or 3 Mando units or something along those lines, because it's a greater threat saturation, and you're sticking to a theme, which I like, sticking to the theme for the most part, and it helps with a little bit better efficiency and cohesion. So yeah, that's why I've gotten 3 Droidekas on all of these. You're welcome to change that up. If you don't have 3 Droidekas, I totally understand. Personally, I have 2 Dewbacks instead of 3, so I never wind up running Dewbacks unless I'm just in a friendly game. But yeah, if you got any questions, definitely feel free to leave it in a comment down below. If you've got any additional lists or other additional strategies to use with the Droidekas, feel free to, post them down below. I like the fact that they block line of sight, they do displace, and in the experimental droid battle force, you can keep them in shielded mode, basically, instead of wheel mode, and increase their speed by 1 with a surge token, and or give them extra dice with the surge token. Yeah, it's just so nice to be able to add them in the experimental droid battle force because there's options. There's lots of options. But all right, guys, if you haven't already, head to the Discord, ask those questions. Feel free to post memes even. Some of these memes are hilarious. It is age restricted just to make sure, that we don't get too out of hand. And, with the Clan of Shadows Patreon, become a member. I'm going to wind up changing the logo here, try to get some chips made soon and get some other things for you guys, but you at least get all of the things early. And head over to thebirdacademy.com where you can subscribe for $15 a month to be able to get as many of these things, or all these things, and make sure that you're staying safe in the gym, looking like a professional, and build some wings. All right, guys, y'all take it easy. And I also, before I forget, want to make sure that I shout out Kitsune, Emperor Atlantis, Daniel Padilla, Anthony Estrada, and Tyson for your help in growing this channel and the giveaways that you guys offer. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And anyone else who wants to become a Patreon member, feel free to sign up down below. And yeah, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.